Hello, everyone. So, I'm coming to you all today to talk about a vision that I had. So, if God is telling you to stay away from a certain individual, you should be obedient when it comes down to it because God is able to see things that we're not able to see. And I'm gonna just tell you guys about a little experience that I had. So, pretty much God came to me and told me, well, I had a vision that I needed to stay away from a certain individual. He's a warlock, and God revealed that to me, and pretty much that he dibbles and dabble with voodoo, and he was pretty much doing that on me, and that explained a lot of things that was going on with me at those times. And it was an ex, and I called myself staying away from this person, and he would just show up at my home. And I don't like to tell my personal stuff, but I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys know just so you're aware. If God instructs you to stay away from someone, you should definitely do that. Um, he decided to come to my home and ask can he wash my car after I've already told him we're not going to be communicating, and God pulled me out of that relationship for a reason, and God didn't purify my heart until I left that relationship. That is another thing. God will not advance you while you're with that person. So during those times, it was after until I left the relationship, like 2 days after, I realized that I was very sensitive in the spirit and that God had renewed and delivered me and gave me a pure heart. It was until I left the relationship. And I also had a vision of God showed me who my kingdom husband is. That's for another video. But it was all in this same time frame when God pulled me out of this relationship with this particular person, because he revealed to me that he was a warlock, pretty much a male witch, and he was doing voodoo. And so anywho, I was kind of disobedient when I allowed him to come over and wash the car, and he kept asking for a hug. And God says, touch not my anointed, do my prophet no harm. Well, he kept asking me for a hug, and I ended up giving him a hug. And when I hugged him, it was like a numb feeling that came over me. It wasn't like it wasn't pleasant. It didn't feel like anything. It didn't feel like a missing hug or nothing like that. It was just like and I kind of felt numb a little bit that day, honestly. I felt a little numb that day. So I went home, and I noticed my daughter, she kept crying. My little daughter I have, she kept crying and crying and crying and crying. And later on that day, God had gave me another, it's something else that in here that I'm not going to say it, but it is something else that I want to mention. But later on that day, God had gave me another clear instruction, and he was more firmer. He was like, you are to have no contact with this person. So I was to have no contact with him. And that time around, I blocked him because I knew God was being very, very firm with me, and I knew that I was not supposed to do that, and I ended up doing it anyway. So long story short, I had an open vision, and I actually seen the witchcraft that was being done on me in an open vision. I closed my eyes, and I seen a ball with a string attached to it going in circular motions. It was a black ball, and I Googled what that was, like, what was that? And it comes to find out it was black magic. So after he left my home, I seen that in an open vision. God let me see that. And it was, like I said, a black ball with a string attached to it going in circular motions. And every time I would close my eyes, I would see that. So at that point, I knew I was to have no contact with this person. And sometimes, guys, you wouldn't even expect that person to be dibbling dabbling with that type of stuff, or you wouldn't expect it because of their the way that they are towards you, you know. But God sees farther than we can see, and He knows people's hearts, and He knows if you're wicked, and He knows if you're willing to repent. He knows if you're willing to return away from your wicked ways. He knows if this person is, you know, how this person is. And if He's telling you to stay clear despite what it is, or despite what everyone thinks, you need to stay clear from this person and don't let anyone come in your ear. And that's kind of what happened to me. I kind of let someone come in my ear and talk me into allowing that person to come over. But I'm a grown woman, and I know that I shouldn't have done it. So when God gives you clear instructions, listen to them, be obedient, because if not, you could cause further things to happen to you if you do not be obedient. You know, you can cause more delays, you can cause more stress upon yourself, more of a lot of things if you just don't listen. So it's best to steer clear. When God is giving you these instructions, do your best and listen and listen. So that was one of the experiences I had. So yeah, it was like an open vision, and I seen the ball with the string. So I pretty much knowing that he was doing voodoo on me and paying people and whatnot to do voodoo. So that's one of my experiences. So guys, if God gives you these instructions, listen. Okay? All right. Have a great day.